Hey everyone. Okay, so I'm gonna show you real quick where I am. Are you ready? I hope you can see it. Do you need to know what that mountain is? I'm in Sedona. um, Hold on a second. Okay. Sorry that you gotta see this door. I don't have very good options of stuff right here. We're staying at the Bell Rock Inn, right dab smack in Sedona. So So here's the thing. This has been one of those journeys where you set out to go look and see where you're being called to go. Thank you for the love. Welcome to Peace of Light. My name is Felicia. I am the creator of Spiral Light, holistic healing practice, and I am the light worker of anchoring of lights and light codes and light language that I speak. So listen up. This has been a journey that's just been just crazy for me. I kept thinking, okay, we're going to go down this path. We're going to do this. And, got blocked because spirit always has a better avenue, a better route for you. Oh yeah, I got to show this, guys. See this? So has a better route, better avenue for you. And sometimes we don't see that. So I really had to wait until we were in a location where I could just get online because a place where we were staying, she doesn't do the Wi-Fi, and she's totally off the grid, which is awesome. So coming here last night after driving from New Mexico State, which was awesome. Love, love, love. And it's higher, it sits up in a higher elevation. And there is a lot of light workers there and like-minded people that think just like I do, that have the same feelings and awakening moments just like I do. And we all, there was a scene when we were all in, a few of us in the parking lot talking to each other without this, and really having heart-to-heart connections and talking. So I really, really enjoyed that. So this video is about wisdom rights. Okay. Now everybody knows that I come from a nursing background. And my nursing background as an LVN of the state of California for over 28, almost 30 years. Okay. So I am at a crossroads if I'm even going to renew my license. I haven't renewed it just yet. I'm sitting with it. I don't know. I'm just sitting with it because there's now little things that you have to do in order to renew. They want you to get, and I'm not doing this. It's my rights. Which brings me to this. And those of us that are nurses do remember this. You remember back in the day when we would no. What's wrong with you? I'm live right now. Remember back in the day you go into your nursing and you had to take your courses and understand patient rights. Okay, number one thing. Those of you that are nurses, those of you that are doctors, there is a law on patient rights. And if you violate that, your butt could get sued. Just to let you know, I'm live on YouTube.
I wanted to show you where I am.
Okay, where are you? Where are you? It's freezing up. Is this Bell Rock?
Yeah, it's freezing up.
Yay, that looks good. Okay. We ain't supposed to be doing this. I got things I got to do. Okay. So. No, honey, when little bad reception. Okay, good. Well, honey, you're up in the mountains. Spirit got you. Okay, so patients' rights. All right, I'm not editing this. Why should I edit it? This is real time. This is life. So, under HEPA, under the rights, patients' rights, you have the right to receive a notice of the Privacy Act. Okay, right to your privacy. That means whatever you're going through, nobody else has the right to know what your treatment is, what you're diagnosed with, why you're there. Okay, right to access and request a copy of your medical records. Every single thing that is done to you, whatever was given to you, whatever procedure that was done with you, you have a right to your medical records to get a copy of that. They're going to charge you for it, but you have a right to get those copies. Okay? Patients' rights. I'm going over this for a reason, because you need to understand this, because a lot of things are getting ready to shift on the 19th of this month until May the 1st. So one of my beloved Be So Light group, Sage Priestess, brought this information to my attention on these particular dates. And these particular dates rule from the April 19th through May 1st, dark energy forces that will be doing things that are not good. Okay, not good means, I don't know, kind of think about it. Indiana Jones, let's go there. Indiana Jones, the Temple of Doom. They had certain rituals that children were in the temple. And when Indiana got kind of took that, something was blown into his face, and then he became hypnotized to try to sacrifice the girl. And then they put her in the cage and they were lowering her down into the fire. So between this time of the month until May 1st, put it together, connect the dots. Why I'm talking like this. You have to be on very high vigilance right now. Wherever you're going, don't be going places by yourself up into mountain areas, camping out. Not around this time. You don't want to be doing that. Make sure you're with someone. Make sure you keep an eye on your children and know where they are at all times, especially young ladies who like to say they're going out with their friends and they actually going to somebody else's house to go get have fun and all this craziness. Make sure you know where everybody is. Be careful where you're traveling to. And know where you are. Okay? Between April 19th all the way up to May 1st. This is a very powerful time for those beings. Okay? So you're going to see and feel a lot of higher consciousness energy coming in. And it's going to be really intense. Okay? Just to let you know. Clear it out of your space, clear it, cut the cords, clear it, clear it, clear it. Remember who you are in your space. So I just finished talking about you have a right to your access of your medical records. Okay. You have a right to request amendments to your medical records. You have a right to privacy. You have a right for accounting of disclosure. Okay. You have a right to refuse signing for any procedure or medication under the HIPAA rules. Now, when we go into nursing, they teach us about the 5 rights of medications. Okay, if you do not follow these 5 rights and you give the patient the wrong kind of medication that might hurt them and kill them, you will be sued. You will lose your license. You will not be able to practice as a nurse or a doctor. Let's go there. How many times I've been in the surgery area and they have to double check what surgery procedure they're really going to do on someone. Okay, they're going to double check the name. They're going to make sure it's the right diagnosis. They're going to make sure it's the right surgery procedure they're doing. They're going to make sure if it's an amputee, are they amputating the right limb? Okay, how many times have people gone in and they took the wrong limb off or removed the wrong organ when it was something else? Is it the right patient? I can't tell you how many times I've had patients that I had to go past meds to that were in the same room with the same identical names, and you had to make sure you have Jane Brown 1 in bed A and Jane Brown 2 in bed B when you're giving them the meds. They made sure to stop doing that, putting the same patients in the same room. They started separating them because it was too easy to make mistakes. Pay attention to what I'm saying. So, when you're giving medications as a licensed nurse or a doctor, pay attention to what I'm saying. You have the 5 rights of right patient, right drug, right dose, right route, right time. Okay? So when you're giving something to someone, you better make sure you know who you're giving that med to, what that medication is going to do. Here's another tip. What is that medication for? Why is that patient on the meds? What are the side effects of it? Every medical person who is giving a medication has to know what the side effects are of a drug that they are administering to a patient. It is law. It is the right, patient's rights, HIPAA law. It's law. There is no way you can get licensed as a licensed nurse or RN or a doctor and you don't know these laws. You take an oath. Boy, Spirit woke me up this morning and said, Felicia, you're going to go on, and I want you to go back to the days when you went into nursing and talk about how you had to know patients' rights and HIPAA. Seven rights. Are you ready? You have the right to be treated with respect. Let's digest this, shall we? You have the right to be treated with respect. That means nobody should come and shame you for not doing something. You have the right to be treated with respect. You have the right to obtain your medical records. You have the right to privacy to your medical records. You have the right to make a medical treatment choice. You have a right. It's law. You have a right to make a medical treatment choice. That means if I'm your nurse and I come in and I say, okay, Mrs. Brown Jules, I have this medication I need to give you, and I need you to take it. And for whatever reason, if you tell me, no, I do not want that, I cannot force you to take it. I cannot make you take it. I cannot threaten you to take it because I'm in violation of your rights. You have a right to informed consent. Okay, you have a right. Informed consent. Do you give consent to receive it? Do you not give consent to receive it? You have a right to refuse treatment. Let's digest this, shall we? You have a right to refuse treatment. Every medical person who works in a medical setting, a hospital, as a doctor, as a RN, as an LVN, as a CNA, it doesn't matter. As a medical technician, it doesn't matter. You have to know these rights. It's a part of your licensing. You have a right to refuse treatment. And then here's another one. You have the right to make a decision about your end of life care. Now, I don't know what's happening in the hospitals now, but I know when I worked in the hospitals, a patient comes in, it was nothing for us to get all these forms together, go over all of this. It was a part of your admission into the hospital. You had to sign the forms to make sure that whatever I told you, whatever I went over with you, you understood. You have the right to refuse treatment. You have the right, if you don't want to have a procedure done, to walk out of the hospital and say, I'm going. AMA. We had a lot of patients that would go AMA, against medical advice. AMA. Why is Spirit, Creator, the ancestors having me on here right now doing this? Because it is crucial in the wisdom of knowledge, in the rights of wisdom, to implement these things in your life. Being in nursing, being as a nurse, as a doctor, we are advocates for our patients. You're an advocate. You took an oath to do no harm. To do no harm. Especially when you know that the side effects of certain medications could kill somebody or could hurt someone or maim someone. You can get sued. Here's the thing. There's things now, when you sign a consent and you say, yes, okay, if I come to you and I say, okay, I'm going to give you your flu shot, you need to sign here, or I'm going to give you your Hep B shot, you need to sign. On that consent form, it's going to say, do you acknowledge that there may be potential adverse side effects that might happen from this injection? And if you sign on there and say, yes, I understand it, and you put your signature there, you just signed away the rights to really sue someone because you knew what that was and you took it anyway with the potential of adverse effects. All medications have those adverse effects. You go in and get your antibiotics. They got to print out this whole list of all the adverse effects that can happen to you. Cipro itself, when you take Cipros or Bactrim DS, they are in that family, sulfa family. And sometimes what happens when you take those particular medications, they can cause immediate muscle detachment. It's some kind of phenomenal thing that happens when you take those meds. It can cause an immediate rupture muscle detachment. You'll just be walking around, might have took the medication 2 or 3 days, and then all of a sudden, boom, you get a weakness in one of your knee joints, shoulder joints, or something, and boom, you don't know why all of a sudden it just located or why you're falling forward. Adverse effects. Side effects. Adverse effects. Am I making myself clear? Because here in Be So Light, we're all about bringing our truth and bringing our light forward and understanding this. I would tell my parents all the time, when you go in to see a doctor, make sure they explain everything to you. Make sure they tell you what you're getting. And if they can't tell you what you're getting, don't take it. It is your right to know. There's medical laws out there. That's your right to know these things. And everyone who is an RN, a doctor, a surgeon, an LVN, a medical person, they have to know these rights. Thank you. Even the pharmacy, they have to, by law, tell you what the side effects of these medications are. They have to tell you. Now let's step forward, shall we? What's missing out of this equation with this? What's missing? Got you thinking, don't I? I just went over this whole thing of what we as nurses have to abide by law. We cannot force you to take something. We cannot make you force you out of your rights to do something. We have to tell you what it is. We have to tell you what the adverse effects are, or provide you with information of what it is, or what could happen when you take this medication. The pharmaceutical, by law, has to do that. They do it with everything else. They do it with your inhaler. They do it with your heparin shots. They do it with your insulin. They do it with all the substances. What's missing out of this equation? Yes. Think about it. Wisdom rights. You have the right to know these things. You have the right. So this is here for a reason. And my heart goes out to a lot of people right now who are feeling like their back is up against the wall and no, it's not. It's all an illusion. It's all a game. You got to look at it for what it is and understand that. And this month and into May, from this time on, it's going to be crazy. Okay? And so now I'm going to share with you some of my research. As I've been, now Spiral Light has gone into New Mexico. I've done 2 prominent people in New Mexico with Spiral Light, and I'm very happy about that. So some of the information, data that I've been collecting, that is associated you want to understand about heart attacks and central nervous system twitchings that's happening in the muscles, certain drainages coming out from the eyes, the nose, ears continuously. Not feeling like the self, feeling kind of detached. Loss of sense of purpose, kind of feel shut down. Let me repeat that. Kind of feeling shut down. Lost sense of purpose. Okay. Tiredness. Yeah. Fevers and hives, rashes, kind of like headache stuff, maybe a little pneumonia going on. But that loss of purpose. Now, I'm going to talk about this. Body snatchers. You know how in the body snatchers, pay attention to what I'm saying, okay? In the body snatchers, I'm talking about the old movie, Okay, the old movie, first one. So in the movie Body Snatchers, they, you know, the alien beings bring in the pods. Pay attention to what I'm saying, because it's very much like the pod is coming in. The pod is coming in, and it's going to be put next to you, your original body, while you're sleeping. Okay? They don't do it when you're awake. The body snatchers. I should call them the soul snatchers. That's more prominent for these things. Soul snatchers. But the movie, the body snatchers. Okay? So they put the pods next to your bed, and then the pod gets the little fibers and it connects to your body. It starts to drain your life force and makes a copy of you. But in this copy of you, you have no emotions. Follow what I'm saying. No emotions. Chromosome 8 is down. You walk around emotionless. You have no emotions. And that movie is such a trip because you can always tell, who got potted. Who got pod? Did you get pod? That might be the new way to say things. Ooh, did you get pod? So here the pod makes a copy of the person. Now, after it drains out all your life force and everything, makes a copy of you. Okay. Now the pod becomes you. And the original you that was in the bed disintegrates. Becomes like clay, just breaks down like ash. Okay. So it breaks down. When it breaks down, the copy takes the remaining dust particles of what you used to be and puts it all in the bag and gets rid of it. Okay, so now the copy one is walking around. Follow what I am saying. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't get up the stairs. Trip, trip. I can't get up the stairs to the plane. Trip, trip. I don't look like myself. I think Christina Aguilera put a song together called I'm Not Myself Today. Yeah, video. I'm not myself today. Yeah. Yeah. So if you get potted, you will not be yourself anymore. It will happen in a very slow and gradual way. Makes sense? If you need a refresher on how the Body Snatcher movie went down, perhaps you might watch it because a lot of that movie is in fruition right now. Am I making myself clear on what I'm saying? All light workers, you need to listen, be aware, follow your guidance, and trust where you are being led to go. And stop trying to negotiate an outcome because it's not going to work. Everyone has their assignments, everyone has their mission. You need to get to your postings and you need to be ready to do what you came here on this earth to do. We are in a battle of a lifetime. Mother Earth, she knows what she's doing. But do we? Do we remember why we came here? Do we remember? Think about it. I went from New Mexico, now I'm in Sedona. A lot of activity in New Mexico, a lot of activity in Sedona right now. A lot of portals. And not all portals that are open are bad. There's a lot of good portals that are open to bring in access. A lot of timelines are crossing. gaining minutes, losing minutes, time jumping. Fifth dimension is already here, it's been here. Sixth dimension is here. Seventh dimension is here. So it's all about where are you? Because if you get potted like a body snatcher, you're not going anywhere. You're going to stay exactly where you are. Now, in the movie, I want to say, maybe I should say Skyline. I could use Skyline. Skyline, how the aliens came, and I don't think I can use that one. I have to use the one. I think it was patient number 47 or patient number 46. This one was with Nicole Kidman. I think this one. No, I know which one I can use. It's called Extraterrestrial. It was some kind of off the wall movie you can find on YouTube. Extraterrestrial. Um, I believe in this movie they showed how the aliens like to put the implants in as a tracking, or they would dig out the implants. You know how some people, especially as light workers, you get certain unique kind of clients, and they always talk about the missing of time and they've been taken or something, blah blah blah. All this stuff. And they always say, yeah, I always have markings and things on me. And they go and try to get it out and it keeps moving and they can't get it. And sometimes surgically they finally get it and it's an implant. Yeah. There's several ways implants can go in. Because back in that time, when they really, in the beginning, wanted to make sure they can keep us enslaved to their system, they constantly were messing with our DNA and messing with our DNA back in the time and putting in implants. Does that sound familiar? I mean, connect the dots. Putting in implants, putting in implants. Yeah. And now, because the beings use such high technology, those implants are like small as a grain of, like a pinpoint, like nanoparticle. It's so small, fits anywhere. Kind of like the movie Venom. Venom was very nanoparticles because he could stretch out and form himself and stretch out his arm and turn it into whatever he wanted. All these little tiny nanoparticles. And it's really interesting how they use that movie and was making the shapes of how in Venom, how he's, you know, just don't call him a parasite. He hated to be called a parasite. Apologize. It's a good movie if you need to be reminded of what particles like that look like. And then some of the newer technologies, they were talking about all the healing, how these particles can separate and how they can come together, how they can just spread. Now, another one that can explain it even better, it's called Bloodshot with Van Diesel in it. Okay, he was military ops and he went into a building with his troop and got blown up. And then, as part of science, they pieced him back together with this particular blood that had a memory of how it could kind of stretch out. He could repair himself. That's the perfect analogy of what I'm talking about right now is Bloodshot. Watch that movie. Watch that movie because it shows you right there the technology that they used on him to repair him and how they separate, how they come together, and how they implemented what kind of memory they wanted him to have. Watch that movie. They're telling you right there. Bloodshot with Vin Diesel. Pay attention. Pay attention how they were manipulating his memory with those particles. Am I making myself clear? Just letting you know. It's wisdom. And by law, you have the right. You have the right. You have the right. No problem. You have the right. But know what your rights are and know what it is that you're taking. And if they cannot present it and tell you what's in it, why are you taking it? Hell, some of you spend more time reading the back of labels of food that you're going to eat before you even ask a question on that. What's wrong with you? Some of you go as far as trying to figure out everything where you're going on vacation. You got to know all the details. What is wrong with you? Some of you go around checking everything out for all your cars. Oh, it's got this, it's got this. What's wrong with you? And some of you will digest and dissect all these things of your technology, of what kind of phone you want, how it's going to do everything. What is wrong with you? You spend more time figuring out what kind of gizmos on your phone, how you're going to do something, and laptops and cars and stuff and foods you eat and how vegan it is and what it has, but you don't go and research. What's wrong with you? Get a clue. Please. So, it's free will. I'm just saying. And I'm saying it from a point of view of law. As medical people, there are laws we have to abide by with patients. And if you mess up somebody, you will get sued. You will lose your license. You will lose the right to practice medicine or be a nurse or whatever because you gave someone the wrong medication or you killed somebody. That family will sue your ass. Can they now? So get yourself ready. Those of you that are light workers, things are different. You have to ask these questions when you're working with your clients. Have you had this or this? Because it makes a difference in how you're working with them. It really truthfully does. I know. I feel a difference in people when I'm working on them now. It's very different. Just saying. You need to be aware of that. All right. I hope you got this message. I hope this was good for you. Please look them up. Go on to Google up patients' rights. Go look it up for yourself. Look up HIPAA, HIPPA. Look it up. Understand what it means. Understand what it represents. Go look it up. Look up the medications rights. Go look it up. It's right there. Look it up. Be informed. Have that wisdom. And know. And here, you want to have fun with somebody in the medical field, throw them off kilter. You'll have so much fun with this and videotape it. If you have your phone in there, videotape it and watch how they stumble. And say, oh, by the way, do you know the 5 rights as a patient, as a nurse? What are my 5 rights? Watch how they start stumbling. Watch. Now, your good nurses that know their rights gonna be your older nurses. They've been in the field a long time. Okay, they exiting out. We're losing some good nurses that are retiring. Okay, but just do it. What's my rights as a patient? And then watch them. Do it to a doctor. What's my rights? What's my rights? Do it. And watch what happens. Watch how they Because I'm going to tell you why they do that. They don't expect you to know. They expect you to comply and go along with the program. Go along with the curriculum. I don't think so. So know your rights, know your laws, and that's the name of the game now. The more knowledge you know, the better off you are. All right, lovelies. Be so light. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for being supportive of this. I hope this helps you. I will be bringing you some new material tonight. I don't know what we're going to find in Sedona. I had something happen to one of my crystals from Shasta, and I took a picture of it. I can talk about it, but I'm not allowed to just show you the picture of it just yet. I'm making another journey back there to see if I can make contact with what I pulled up inside of the crystal. Is mind blowing. And I didn't. And here's the thing: when I took the pictures, I didn't realize that it was in there until we were making the journey going down on this pathway, and I pulled up the picture and I'm looking and I'm like, holy crap, what the hell is this? Because the first when you see it, just looks like a little bit of blue and some green. And I'm like, why is this on the crystal? There was nothing around it to be showing this. Why is this looking like this? And then you pull it up and you actually look in it. You see a very defined blue face with eyes and mouth in the crystal looking back at me. Yeah, I'm calling for a meeting. And I go back to the mountain. I'm gonna say, I got it. Where are you? Straight up. And then Magenta Pixie talked about the Lemurians and what their traditional colors were blue. I was like, right on. All right, lovelies. Be happy, be blessed, be aware. Please keep your energies up. Be aware of your surroundings. Now is not the time to get relaxed and to be walking around like, well, don't be a pod. Wake up, don't be a pod. All right. Much love to you. Be so light. Bye.